Hello, and thank you for checking out my Dishonored 2 very hard difficulty, no damage run. If you're using this run as a guide or walkthrough for your own playthrough, following my strategies and approach will get you the Flesh and Steel, Clean Hands, and Shadow achievements in a single playthrough. The criteria for this run was the health bar could not drop below 100% from the moment you take control of your character until the game is completed and the credits roll. At no time during this run were restarts or reloads allowed if damage was taken, nor could a save state be used to avoid damage, avoid being seen, or manipulate enemy spawns and positioning. If any of these conditions were not met, a complete restart of the game was required. So with all that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy the run. So after completing my Dishonored 1 100% run, where I got all these same achievements, I wanted to do the same in Dishonored 2. However, in this game, you cannot complete 100% and Flesh and Steel in the same run, since the only way to obtain much of the items in 100% is by using powers or glitching, which I do not like to do in my runs. Likewise, you can't complete 100% and Clean Hands in the same run, since 52 coins in Mission 7 only spawn if you eliminate Stilton. So after completing the 100% no damage run for this game, I felt really incomplete. I really wanted to do a run through the game for all the major achievements, and that was the inspiration for this run. Now, since this is not a 100% run of the game, there are lots of things I'm going to be able to skip altogether. So there won't be a lot of commentary from me, except for certain sections that are a lot harder to get through without powers that require explanation. Now, for my 100% run, I went into quite a bit of explanation as to why I picked Emily over Corvo, and there's a lot of nuance to that. For the Flesh and Steel, it literally doesn't matter. One doesn't perform better than the other, like climb better or sneak better or anything like that. So it's literally personal preference. I just went with Emily because I have muscle memory for her in navigating the menu and stuff. So that's why I went with her. But you really could do everything that you're going to see in this run with Corvo, and you'll be 100% successful. Lastly, as I also mentioned in my 100% run, you will notice, or you may have already noticed at the top left, that we are missing a bit of health. This is developer intended. So as soon as we come out of the opening cutscene and we first take control of our character, we have a chunk of health missing. So here in a little bit, once I get to the safe room, I'll heal that up, and then that will never drop again. So this little bit of damage is allowed for the run because there's no way for me to avoid it.
Anton Sokolov made this lock. Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial Suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsey. Enjoy. I have a feeling I'll need these. Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks. I've got to get out of Dunwall. Somehow Delilah turned my father to stone. I will find a way to undo it. You're not fit for the watch uniform. The city is crawling with the Duke's men. I need to find a ship.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Emily Caldwin has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find her. That's it, you've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkino, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
Getting so one can't even breathe no more.
All right, so because it just may not be obvious to everyone, I am going to sit up here and wait for the train, tram, whatever, to come through. That can take a while, and I think in this run, that's what happens. Sometimes you're kind of against the clock, so you want to get up here as quickly as you can. I would say about 50% of the time as you're coming up here, the alarm will be blaring. So it just kind of all depends with like the RNG of the game, but essentially no matter what, even if you do get up here and you miss it, just get up on this pipe, hang out and wait, and eventually it will come through and you'll be able to continue with the strategy that you're going to see. So up ahead, you'll see this little overhang that the train's going to go through. It's very important you jump over this. You cannot duck under it. So make sure that you do that, otherwise you'll fall right off.
Over here. Lady Emily.
Yes, I'm ready. Am I still aboard Megan's ship? Feels odd. I can feel something moving closer.
Empress?
No. Whatever you're offering, I can make my own way.
Another surprise. So be it.
All the stories, they're true. Know you. When I was 10.
You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know. If we're lucky, we've been en route. We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready. There are a few black market shops scattered across the city.
So unlike a powers run where runes are used to upgrade your abilities, in a no powers run, they give 200 coins apiece. So I'm gonna go not so much out of my way, but any runes that are like close to the route that I'm running through, I will be trying to pick up simply to get those coins. I don't need to farm a lot of coins in this run, but there are some upgrades that are very, very useful for certain strategies. So I do want to make sure that early on in the game, I am getting enough coins to get ahead of that curve. So you'll see that here in mission 2. I'm going to kind of run a similar route to the 100% route, in that I'm going to grab everything that makes sense, that's not super out of the way or hard to get. And we'll do that here. We'll do that in mission 3. And then I'll start to kind of relax it a little bit and only kind of pick up things that are, you know, right along the route that I'm going through.
I don't see any signs of Farrell. He seems to be late.
I should get away.
You know that was supposed to go to us. What are we supposed to do now? We're out of money.
Give him a chance to go inside. Where are you gonna go?
It wasn't his fault, man.
Money here.
I'm sorry, every now and then one of those Grand Guard bastards pulls a stunt like that. It's getting worse.
It's a new thing, needing money.
There aren't enough coins in the world to make it worth it.
I have the following announcement. New restrictions are now in place due to the political assassination.
Let a few blood flies stop us.
I'm in. Just remember
It's
to move
infested,
slow.
all right. Move slowly, stay away from the nests, and try to avoid getting filled with bloodfly venom and eggs.
Hey, come here.
customer with coin, I bet.
Alright, so the first upgrade I'm going to get is for the stun mine, and this is basically for the Clockwork soldiers in Mission 4. I need to make sure that I have that. Otherwise, everything else here is kind of just whatever you want to get. There's no real other prerequisite at this point in the run.
My name's Mindy Blanchard.
News isn't good those days. They could do it.
Stink, do I? At least I have a job, which is more than he can say.
What's all the fuss? Or whatever it is, I got more important things to worry about.
Everyone is looking for me. It might pay to be discreet.
I warned you.
Please, you gave me no choice.
Please? It's too late for that, Rapallo. Guess what happens next?
Move along. We're conducting a search for heretical artifacts.
What? Here? Listen, I only need
This area is restricted on the authority of the Abbey. No one is allowed inside. For even the lowliest labor that is rigorous squeezes the muscles as a sponge, rinsing impurities from this place.
Dig deep, brother. Remember that the profane seeks to hide itself.
The wind picks up too strong? Like in a storm?
Karnaca was a lovely...
I must be ever vigilant against the outside. He knows my heart. Test me. Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't be better to craft the music boxes as she checked the collective innocence here in the city. I saw guile. My suspicions arose at once, and I from us and shipped out. It seems dangerous.
Far worse to have the knowledge and construction materials scattered across the Isles. The metals used to make the devices are unusually rare. The techniques, if applied by anyone,
cellar,
the most
we
faithful
found
resident
cloths of
overseers.
purple and
border on
red,
heresy.
suspended from the walls, and a wretched altar of candles burned low.
might accomplish.
Some
If they took the
small
music
trinkets
boxes and
of
perverted
bone,
them to their own ends.
and a few coins.
Exactly, brother.
What's he going on about?
Where they're needed inside the lights of our city, whose faces we do not recognize, and whose voices are strange to us. The girl was taken from her.
Some take comfort from the strictures. Vice Overseer Liam Byrne.
heretic's body is important, even though I don't fully understand the situation. We'll wait for the Vice Overseer.
When should Byrne arrive?
He's engaged currently. He'll send someone else, maybe Overseer Kendana. Until then, we stay where we are.
Won't the heretic's corpse attract blood flies, brother?
No, I've dusted it already. We should be fine here for now. But mark me, anyone who shows up here has ill will at heart. There are no coincidences in Karnaca.
That's it. The body Mindy sent me after.
But the source of your suffering might not be plain to you. Karnaca has turned away from the Abbey of the Everyman. Those leading the city would gamble with all that we have built, with your very families. If the Abbey is pushed away, anarchy will fall this a chaos not seen since the time of the Great Burning. Karnaca has but one chance, and that is to return to the fold.
All right, so since I don't have powers and I can't pull myself up to this overhang that's in front of me, I have to do a little bit of a cheeky strat here to get this body past the butcher over here. And so really what that is I throw the body and then I move past his line of sight and pick it back up. Very, very rarely that guy will look over and spot you if you're just walking or sneaking along the ground, which is why in the powers version of this run, I use far reach to pull myself up onto that overhang where he can't see me. But I had to come up with a different strategy, obviously, because I couldn't do that. So that was the most consistent way that I could find to get by him without having that interaction occur.
Not this time.
That's it. The electricity's off.
I told Miss Lucia Pastor that they wouldn't let us take the carriage. Adamire is closed to the public.
Adamire Station. This should take me out to the Institute.
This seems like a shit assignment. Adamire Station? No one ever goes out there anymore. Or rarely.
I could transfer you to the Dust District if you're looking for action.
No one knows what happened. Could be anything. Just gotta watch my own back.
All right, so when I get up here, I'm looking for the guard that's up against the rail, and I kind of misread the situation here. It looked like to me in the moment that he was going to turn around and path around, which he does here. But I had more than enough time to go ahead and drop down. And if I remember correctly, I end up having to go and drop down anyways because he takes so long to return to his path that the guy up on the roof that paths around on top of the station started walking out this direction. And once he does that, you don't have a choice but to go. Because if you stay up, he will spot you. So I basically have enough time until I see that guy. So I saw him and then I decided I had to go. Hello? So again, I think I was just being overly cautious unnecessarily there.
The
security relay again. Should we check it out?
Nah. Just making sure it's still in order, I guess. Nobody comes around anymore. But you never know when the Duke's gonna send someone out here to check on things. Before I got transferred to Adam.
What should we do with the leftovers? I used to feed them to the dogs, but I'm not allowed to go to the kennels anymore.
Let's feed the rats.
Don't be like that. Times are hard enough without you getting bitter.
When Addermeyer was open to the public, I was proud of working here. Cooking for the sick, discussing recipes with Dr.
Isn't it laundry day yet? Gotta be soon. I can't stand my
So it may be a little difficult to see or tell what I'm doing. There's a guard that's beyond here on the other side up against the rail. And I was trying to hit the trigger to make him come back. And I finally got it. And so now I'm just moving into position so I can see him, but he can't see me.
Dr. Hypatia doesn't accept patients. And the Institute is under the Grand Guard authority. Apparently, you can't be trusted to do your job without creating problems.
Please, I can't lose another child. Where is Dr. Hypatia?
Lock her up until further notice.
What? No!
So I mentioned this in the 100% run, but this wall of light, I can't power this thing down until this guard walks past the boundary. Otherwise, he'll get alerted to the fact that it's not on, and then he'll start roaming around and just messes everything up. So make sure that you wait for him to walk past the wall of light before you deactivate it. So just like the 100% run, I still need to worry about the guard that can potentially come down the stairs or come down the elevator or just not show up at all. So that's what I was waiting for there. Just trying to buy time to see if he was going to come down the stairs. Then once I commit and I start moving across, I need to get in position and just wait. So as I explained in the 100% run, this is completely random which one you're going to get, either elevator or stairs. This time around he came down the elevator, which is fine. Either one doesn't matter. I just want to take him out so that I can go do what I need to do without him being an issue. Now this elevator also has a bit of RNG, and to be honest, I don't have an explanation for it. So sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. When it does the ding as it opens the door, pull the attention of the guards below you. Other times it won't. I have no clue why that is or is not catching their attention. But I always prepare for it and simply put, just do what you see here. Put down a stun mine. It will only ever bring one guy up. The guy that it brings up can be different, but generally it will only bring one guy up. He'll get taken out on the stun mine. And then what I'm going to do is just relocate his body so it doesn't get seen. And then we're going to force the other guy to hear us and come up to investigate. And he'll get taken out on the mine as well. So all I'm going to do here is stand up and walk around until I catch his attention.
Sure she stays where we want her. Hypatia never leaves Addermeyer. Remember that.
Sir, it's just that the other night she went missing, and I still don't see how she got out.
Maybe
maybe we're not clear on this. In case anyone asks, the good doctor never leaves the grounds unless it's on official business for the Duke. Got it?
I think I understand, sir. I'm bored.
It's infested.
Alright, so before we push the mission along, I want to go ahead and deal with the enemies out here, the wall of light and all that. Unfortunately, for the strategy that I do here, there's two different scenarios, and they're both kind of based around what position the officer in red is standing. So unfortunately on this one, he's standing suboptimally. He was standing away from the edge of the platform. When he's standing at the edge of the platform and you throw that glass bottle, what happens is he whips around like he did there, but his body will actually go off the platform and he'll drop straight down. He won't die, but he'll just like drop straight to the ground, and then he'll be down there, which frees up the top so that I only have to deal with one guy. So what you're seeing here is what happens when the other scenario is the case, which is he doesn't fall off the platform. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Even if he was down below, I would still have to kind of juggle the two of them being able to see each other. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I just like it when he falls down, because when he falls down, he doesn't move. So like when he drops, he will never move from that position. He'll just stare at the wall, which does make it slightly easier to deal with him and then this guard that I just took out. So ideally, you want it where he's up against the edge and you throw the bottle and he drops down here. But if that doesn't happen, you have a guide now on how to kind of get through it.
She's gone. What happened?
Is Hamilton in there? How is he?
He's losing it.
Yelling nonsense for hours.
Could you understand?
So for these two guards, there's a bit of timing to the sleep dart. Again, I don't have the sleep darts that activate instantly. I didn't get the upgrade for that. And I won't be because it makes some things easier later on in the run. But as soon as the dialogue completes and she turns, that's basically when we're going to hit her. And then we can drop down on the regular guard and then she'll pass out. And if for whatever reason you don't have sleep darts or you don't want to use this strategy, you can just drop down on the blue shirt guard and then just walk up behind and take her out before she gets to the door to open it.
Hopefully it's inside. Rascal's notes. I hope this works. It's ready.
Now, I mentioned this in the 100% run. I just want to reiterate here. You cannot do a drop takedown from the air on Hypatia. Otherwise, it will count as being seen by an enemy for whatever reason. So make sure you're physically on the ground before you do this.
No, no, no. Not back to sleep. I won't go. I won't give it back.
Can we leave this place yet? I don't like it. Ready now?
Yes. Let's get back to the ship.
Is it truly possible the good doctor didn't know she was the crown killer?
Dr.
Maybe she just
Hypatia,
didn't want to.
can you remember?
I'm not sure I even fully understand what you did for me. But
Let's hope your friend doesn't sink the boat while we're gone. Ready?
Ready.
All right, let's get underway.
air's a bit thick.
It's true that dust is capital city, there are abandoned buildings full of blood flies. There have always been blood flies.
When the Grand Guard go into the place and see it packed solid with blood flies, they burn the building to the ground. And the ones on either side.
They may just smoke.
Have some faith. It'll just be more complicated than I thought it would be.
Am I ever gonna catch a break?
Day yet? Gotta be soon. Can't stand my own stench.
Not worth a fight.
This is the Duke's circumference. The same child Empress is gone. The age of Delilah's underway. Vile church. They call this here. I'm sure of it. Scheming. Hiding. Be vigilant. Your weight in silver if you bring her to justice.
I can see Jindosh's mansion from here.
Best thing that ever happened to this city. Give me a handful of the Clockworks and I'll clean up the dust district. I don't know. Maybe the tall boys were better for the time of the rat plague. They made people stand up straight. Times change. If the Duke has his way, we'll have an army of...
So one can't even breathe no more.
The mansion has a strange beauty to it. All right, I need to eliminate Jindosh and find Anton Sokolov.
great curiosity is seeing how the common mind navigates these shifting rooms. I'm Kieran Jindosh, but you must know that. Hello? Anyone there?
Ah, the space behind the walls.
Will there be some misfiring of the mechanism? No one then. Strange.
You think at these prices, the man wouldn't keep us waiting.
There's only one Kieran Jindosh. He can charge whatever he likes. Besides, you're rich enough to afford a couple of the Clockworks?
This Jindosh guy,
Mechanical soldiers, moving walls. Most people are happy just doing a job.
All right, so for the 2 officers on the 3rd floor, this can be a little tricky. There is some nuance here. So when you get the elevator to the top, one will come and investigate the sound, not both of them. However, which one comes to investigate can change. Their positions can change. My point is there's a lot of RNG here. So unfortunately, it's not going to be possible for me to give you the strategy for every scenario that you could face. You'll have to kind of play with it a little bit and figure it out. But ideally, you want to take out the male guard that paths back here like I have first, because the female one will basically move between where she is now and out in the open area, and only really between those 2 spots. So I do want to point out here, make sure that you pick up the rewire tool, at least one of them. There's one right there on that little desk or whatever. I forget to do this, and that kind of screws me in Mission 6 a little bit, not a lot, but I have to go out of my way more than I normally would to get one. So make sure that you pick that up now, or at the very least you pick it up from the black market before you get to Mission 6.
After the final field test.
All right, so we're going to be scaling the elevator shaft here, and the reason for that is we don't want the elevator ding to pull the Clockwork soldier over to us. Simply because I need to set up the strategy before we do all that. And this strategy is very specific. It can go wrong if you don't do it properly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the stun mine down. And then because we haven't alerted Jindosh to our presence, the Clockwork soldiers aren't moving. So I'm going to shoot it to bring the first one over. That'll cause Jindosh to run in here. You need to shoot him in the head and pick him up immediately. That's to get him out of line of sight from the next Clockwork soldier that's coming to investigate. If that Clockwork soldier gets over here and sees Jindosh, that will count as a body detected. So just make sure that you shoot him in the head with the sleep dart. That way it activates instantly since I don't have the upgrade for the sleep dart. And then you pick him up as quickly as possible and move him out of line of sight of the doorway as you're putting the next stun mine down for the second Clockwork soldier.
Kieran Jindosh.
apparatus. Patience, friend, patience. The sequence of events is important. You'll come to understand my electroshock machine, but when? Before or after that light leaves your eyes? And where does it go when it disappears?
The electroshock machine should work now. Too bad it had to come to this, Jindosh.
Adapting to layout. At this point, Clockwork is scouting.
Alright, so I forgot earlier to mention, make sure that you save at least one sleep dart for this section up here with the 3 witches. As I get out, I'm going to get on top of the trolley, and then I'm going to wait for the witch that walks in front of the stairs to turn and walk to the right. Once she does that, I'm going to go ahead and drop down to the ground and remove the battery for the wall of light. I then need to quickly get back up top, because what's going to happen is the one beyond the witch that walked in front of the stairs and turned right will realize that the wall of light is down and come up to investigate. And so as she comes in to investigate, ultimately what I want to do is I'm going to wait for her to walk deeper into the station. And then I'm just going to shoot some crossbow bolts at the ground where I want her to go. And then I'll take her out. Okay, so now I just need to go get back on top of the carriage, and with my sleep dart, unfortunately one, I generally like to make sure I have 2. But with this one, I basically need to thread the needle, and as the witch walks up to the stairs and stops, that's basically where I'm going to hit her. That way she'll pass out of line of sight of the witch that's on top of the guard shack.
You did it. Let's go then. The void, but somehow different this time. Am I dreaming? If not, how is Delilah doing this?
You said that last year. Jessamine is younger than me, and she's a court every day.
Well, it's complicated. You'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise. You can't stay here anymore.
It's hard to know whether my dear old aunt is telling the truth or not. When I was
I'm with you, even in the void.
Anton.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the Conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
Alright, so for the howlers up ahead, I need to make sure that the howler that starts this conversation is looking away from me before I can go. If you go too early there, they'll see you and this whole thing will get messed up.
I'm just a poor maid.
I see you've heard the stories about Pirate Betty, about all the terrible things I've done to the fools who refuse to give up some trinket or a bag of coins.
Have mercy! Don't hurt me!
Should I start by cutting off your nose?
Help! Anyone, help me!
Or maybe I could sign my name across your forehead with a knife. Use you as a human billboard.
Help! Murderer!
All right, no one's coming. What a bunch of cowards. We'll try it again later.
For this last howler, she can do a couple of different things. I don't remember what she does for this specific run, but she can sit on the stairs. She can check, I think it's a map or billboard or whatever that's to her left. She can walk out and then come back. It just kind of depends. Either way, you're just going to basically wait until she is distracted with whatever action she's doing, and then you'll go and take her out.
Well, welcome to my shop. Say, come in, my friend. Always a delight to see you. Excellent choice. No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
So as I make my way out onto the main street here, there is a guard that's going to be pathing back this way eventually. I just want to wait kind of on this block, and if you kind of shove yourself on this block, you'll kind of slide up and over it. But the game will still consider you behind it for whatever reason, so you'll have like perfect line of sight on the guard, but he won't be able to see you. And we just have to see which scenario I get. He's either going to turn around and look away from us, or he'll look directly at us. When he looks away from us, we can just walk up and take him out. He kind of bugged out and glitched there a little bit, which was kind of weird. But if he's looking directly at you, you just sleep dart him from that like block of concrete or whatever that we were behind. And that's how you would deal with that scenario. So either way, take him out, move him up to this position, and then continue on.
Has the wall of light been acting up?
Okay, so for the 4 guards in front of us, everything that happens here is very specific. So you want to take these 2 out in the way that I did. And then for the 2 officers, what you want to do here is just wait for this dialogue to end. And right as the dialogue concludes, you're going to shoot the male officer in the leg. They'll reposition over, and then you'll shoot the female officer in the head. You want to make sure, though, that before you shoot her in the head, the male officer has already gone down. Otherwise, he could potentially turn around and see her getting shot and falling to the ground.
This shirt reeks. I gotta get a spare uniform. He never earned those medals. I'm twice the son.
All right, so before I continue on, I do want to go back and refill my sleep darts because I'm going to need them. So I'm going to go do that now, and then we'll come back and we'll continue on.
Told them they wouldn't last the day.
Welcome back. Please, take your time. I'm certain you will be satisfied with your purchase.
Throat feels a little scratchy. Maybe some steeped borage and chamomile will do the trick.
Melinda, you look great. Enrico said to give you his regards.
That donkey-faced cretin can open his wrists for all I care. Did you bring me something? The silver cigarette case, like we agreed?
No, listen. I can't go on doing this, stealing for you. I'll lose my job.
Do you want to be a servant all your life? You're always talking about leaving Karnaca on a big white boat, never to come back. You spend your days polishing silver cutlery. Come with me, Beatrix. Let's leave.
Could we really get passage on a ship? What if they find us?
You know I'll protect you, just like when we were kids.
I'll think about it. I promise.
What I wouldn't give for a bottle of pear soda.
Karnaca, my Karnaca, brothers and sisters of my blood, and all the little people who make this great city trust the law. This is the Duke. You must all know my voice by now. A new Empress sits on the throne in...
All right, so the section below us is very RNG dependent. This can go so many different ways. I will say, like, it's not a big deal. It just might require you to sit here and wait a while until you get the right timing on both of the guards here. So you have one guard that's walking up and down the street, and then you'll have one guard on the right where these stairs are that will walk kind of in a circular pattern around this area. We need to take both of them out because this is the way we're going to get into the conservatory and out of the conservatory, essentially. So I need both of these guys to not be here to see us when we leave. So really the best advice I can give you is to wait for them to get in the right orientation. Generally, that is where the one on the right is pathing away and looking away from the one on the left. And then you're able to take out the one on the left. And then you can just put down a stun mine on the stairs to take out the one on the right later on as you're off doing other things, which is what happens right here. So there are a couple of other ways you can do this. Again, I think this is the ideal way to do it, so I would wait for this timing. The only other note I'll add here is you don't need to necessarily rush picking this body up if it would get you seen by the light. For whatever reason, the tower light, if it goes over a body that's unconscious, it will not alert anybody. It's like it's invisible. It doesn't see them. So you don't need to worry about that. So just make sure that you don't get spotted by the light when you're trying to get that body out, and that the guard on the right side doesn't see you or the body before you're able to move it out. Now, one quick note here while I was talking, I killed a bloodfly after I put down that stun mine. There will always be a bloodfly there. Make sure that you kill that, because when you stun this guy that's going to come down here, if that bloodfly is there, it could potentially go over, latch onto the body, and then kill him. And then that will ruin your clean hands run. So make sure you look for that bloodfly. Make sure that you kill it. All right, so for the section ahead, there's going to be 2 guards, and if I remember correctly on this run, I completely misread this situation. So the way that these guards path is pretty consistent, but the timing of their pathing can be off a little bit from playthrough to playthrough. So I thought he was going to walk back and then go back towards the door, and that's obviously not what he did. So I just misread the situation, and I almost lost my run for it. So you just want to set up behind that first wall that I was at. And then when you have the opportunity to cross, you want to cross over. And then once you get into this position, everything that you're going to see me do from here is pretty standard. If you're lucky with the RNG, the timing will be such that the guy that's up against the wall will move off to the right at the same time that the other guard that's in the back would be on the stairs. And he would be getting up off the stairs and walking away as well. So essentially they'd both be walking towards the right, and that would give you the opportunity to go to the left. Sometimes it gets offset, where one will always be on the left in your way. And if that's the case, you could just do what I did here and sleep one and then take care of the other one. But regardless, you want to go this way because the way that we're going to get into the Royal Conservatory is literally the best way, hands down, to do this. Any other way you try to enter this conservatory is going to give you more of a headache, simply because you're going to have to deal with all of the witches throughout the conservatory. The way we're going to do it here is the exact same way I did it in the 100% run, which is we're going to go in and we're going to take out all of the witches in the entire conservatory first, and then we can go through and do what we need to do and finish the mission.
The Royal Conservatory. What do those walls hide? The Conservatory. I wanted to visit this place with Wyman.
No, my dear. It's a loss. But I've done. Who would want that ancient fool? Never mind.
You mean like this tangle of skin and bones representing one of the Dunderheads from the oracular order?
Yes. I'd keep it in my chambers.
You've bizarre taste, my dear Clarissa. I wouldn't want to see myself like that. I'd rather have my portrait painted by Delilah.
I can't wait for the Brianna's next. style I prefer.
Picked is so
Touched
much
by
better than
something from
bride.
deep down in the mud where there's no light. The endless womb and the cold, dead grave. Both of them.
Now to activate it and sever Ashworth's connection to the void.
Wouldn't you be afraid she'd influence your dreams? What will I do now?
Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
The magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton. 3 years.
People of Karnaca, this is the Duke. Some of you have questioned the stricter mining quotas and the new taxes being levied. by the Grand Circonian Guard. Let me answer all of this rabble-rousing at once. Disloyalty and sedition will not be tolerated. Officer should make extra precautions.
Something's gotta give.
Welcome back. I see you found the What a pleasant surprise to see you again. No need to wrap it for you, I suppose. An excellent choice. I'm certain you will be satisfied with your purchase.
I need new boots. Just don't fit right.
Yes, let's go. Take me back to the Dreadful Whale. For several years.
Mind worrying about?
I need to know why
What's that? Ready now?
Ready.
I'll get you as close as I can. Find Megan once you reach the Dust District. She'll tell you more.
All right, so this can be a little tricky up ahead because you have to get through this section before the conversation ends. Otherwise, you can't get through here without powers, without being seen. So the way that I like to do this is just get behind this cover and you just kind of move off. When you see the lightning bolt, you know he's looking at you. If you don't see it, you know he's not, and that's how you'll know to move over. I really couldn't find a better way to do this, so if anybody has any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments.
Let's hope they do enough damage to each other.
So up ahead is where I mentioned back at the Clockwork Mansion, I forgot to grab the rewire tool. I remembered it at some point. If you had the rewire tool here, you just do what I did in the 100% run, which is you don't even have to deal with this guy. I would basically just walk over and put the rewire tool on, but I needed to grab that one, so I had to take that guy out.
Dust from the mines. Hello, Emily. I've been doing...
Alright, so the cool thing about Mission 6 is we don't even need to really interact with any of the mission if our goal is just to complete it. So the Jindosh riddle here is always randomized, and it can be a little confusing, but it does have a set pattern to it. And so if you know what you're looking for, you can solve it without ever having to do the level. Now, I'm going to put a YouTube short out. By the time this video drops, it should already be released. And that should be in the description section of the video, which explains how to solve this without ever having to go through the level and do anything else. And in doing so, that'll give you the Eureka achievement to crack the Jindosh lock without finding the solution.
I did it. Now to find Aramis Stilton. Could that be Stilton? Aramis Stilton?
Captain Winterbourne, we got a problem!
Years ago, something inside Aramis Stilton snapped like a cheap lock. A part of him and a part of this house never left that evening. The Duke's inner circle are still gathered here, setting their grand plan into motion. Delilah's plan. And a part of Aramis Stilton is always here, still breaking. The Void is not exactly a place, and it's much older and stranger than you could ever know. It watches you from within. And at the heart of Stilton's house, the Void is leaking through a pinprick left behind by Delilah's little trick. Even magic is perverted here, and things don't work like they should. Take this. Imagine it's a kind of timepiece. Go and watch the Duke and Delilah. See for yourself what they did.
By the Void.
Your guests are waiting in the
study. They drop food for me, in and out, like the wind. I think they're afraid. We'll be getting started soon. The Duke's beloved is coming back.
What will change in the present based on what I do here tonight? Maybe it's open in the present. air feels almost electrified here.
For this section, I do go pretty in depth in explaining how to do this strategy in the 100% run. I'm going to touch on it again real quick here, just so you have it if you haven't viewed that run. Essentially, I don't understand what holds these hounds in place. The only thing that I found that's super consistent is to basically move into a position and just don't move. And eventually the hounds will kind of break out of it. But ultimately, you want this hound that's closest to us to be walking away into the right. That way I can take both of these out without them seeing each other.
Locker before coming out. Last time.
This is to keep you from seeing whatever drove you into a nightmare tonight. By rendering Stilton unconscious, I changed the past. But how? Things seem to be the worst here. The two times are overlapping now somehow.
Focus on the void. You can feel her power, can't you?
By the stars. This is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended. Do it now!
Returned from the cold, from forever.
She lives.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now.
Just once I'd like to hear about it. Hey, aren't you working another act?
I don't feel safe.
Very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago. This is where my life ended, and where it began again. It's where they made me.
This part of the void feels older.
I thought I'd find a way to escape. I fought, but the wounds only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then the knife touched my throat, and I knew I'd waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god. Now you know Delilah's secret. At the end of her days, she drifted to the void and should have been lost forever. But her will and cunning are second to none. She found this place, the island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it. You have to give Delilah credit. She tore out a piece of herself and hid it away, inside a thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy, but what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
The world contains more mysteries than I imagined.
All right, so in the 100% run, I had mentioned that there are a couple of items that you get if you don't kill Stilton, and that I would be showing those in my no powers run. So that's what I'm doing here. You absolutely don't have to get these. I just wanted for completion to be able to show where these things were for anybody that was looking for them.
Stilton agreed to a meeting with the woman heading up the family committee. What's her name again?
Maybe no one else will even notice. But things have changed here. For the better.
look at what's coming to him, Megan. Are you ready to leave? The dust is wreaking.
Yes, I found a way to get around Paolo and Byrne, and I've been to Stilton's house. Let's go.
Can you feel it? This is my last night.
I can't believe it's taken this long for someone to go after the Duke. Should we head toward the palace?
All right, let's go. At the palace.
All right, so as I explained in the 100% run, absolutely take these 2 guards out. This is actually the better way to do it. I did it a little sloppy in the 100% run. But we want to take those guys out so they can't path around the streets up further in the area and cause us any problems.
Hey, you. I guess now I'm just another pile of trash. I'm hungry.
Oh, no.
See? Start it, Captain. I know the laws in Karnak.
Laws change. The Duke's given the Grand Guard leeway to create new fees when needed. You know who else had a nice shop? That clockmaker.
Serafina? Her shop burned down.
Yeah, my report said it was probably the Howlers. But no one knows how the fire started.
Captain, her brother died in that fire.
Asleep inside, drunk from what I remember. You've got until tomorrow to pay up. Sure, he knows how to talk with the boss. What a lickspittle.
Sorry, but that's not an area for customers.
Over here. Disgusting. Can't be good for you. Now we're getting somewhere.
So because I haven't looted all of the black markets in the levels that preceded this, there's going to be a bunch of civilians down here and not the Howlers like it was in the 100% run. However, there will be an encounter between the guards and the Howlers that will occur. And that can occur at any point in time from you walking into the black market to you leaving the black market. And it can potentially pull you into combat. if you're in the wrong spot when it happens. So that's what the explosion was right there. And we just want to make sure that we're going around this and we're not in line of sight of any of the howlers or the officers. Now, because that encounter just occurred, one of the guards was alerted inside of this building. And so he's pathing around. He's like looking and stuff like that. So make sure that you look for this before you just walk over here and blindly break this wooden barrier. Because if you do that, you could alert him. Now, the good news is if you do break this and alert him, these soldiers are coded such that they cannot walk through this doorway. It is impossible for them to get through this barrier, even if the wooden planks are broken. So if you break this and you alert him, just move back around the corner and just give it time for him to reset and go down, and then you can continue on.
What's going on? I'm a stone's throw.
On top of the building, half infested with blood flies.
Can't take much more of this.
This is the kind of luck I have. God, blasted wind. Why is there a wall of light protecting the palace anyway? Who's going to attack a man like the Duke?
All right, so there's supposed to be a guard under me here at this shack. This guard sometimes will get pulled into conflict when that howler explosion stuff happens. And sometimes he won't. So if he is here, you can do the same strategy I do in the 100% run, which is wait for this guard that's patrolling to turn around. And then you can just drop down on him, take him out, pick him up, and then run with his body into this stairwell where I'm about to go. Okay, so for the Grand Palace itself, this is probably the hardest thing to do in a no powers run, especially when you're trying to do shadow and clean hands and all of that in the same run. And that's simply because the Duke and the body double can be in one of 5 different spots, and it's completely randomized. You're not going to know which scenario you're going to get before you actually get into the level. And pretty much every one of them is difficult. No matter which one you do, no matter which combination you get, it is difficult. I think the easiest one is when you have one of them in the Duke's chambers and you have one of them in Delilah's room. That's probably the easiest scenario. But regardless, they're all difficult. And all of them have their own nuances. All of them have their own individual and specific strategies. And unfortunately, I cannot show you all of those or explain all of those to you in this run. So you're only going to see one scenario. What I will say is the way that I'm approaching and setting everything up is the way you would do it for any scenario. It's just the specifics of how you get to each one and deal with each one that unfortunately you won't see beyond the example that you'll get in this run.
The Duke's has its advantages.
My mother's old money. So, to tell you the truth, it's the only life I've known.
so disappointed it's not about merit. The inner circle is packed with the Duke's pets.
Lickspittles. At least I'm not one of them.
Exactly. And think, when all this fighting over thrones is settled, the Duke's going to need men to take charge in the Northern Isles. By this time next year, you could be in charge of Windown or Freyport.
Where even the most desirable have skin like pale slugs.
That's what the brandy's for.
Settle down, stomach. Dinner will be in you shortly.
All right, so the whole purpose of going this way is for a couple reasons. So one, I'm going to be able to verify whether either the Duke or the body double is in the throne room, and both of them are not. So that's good. The second reason is because I want to loot the document that's on the desk here in front of the officer. This document will always tell you where the real Duke is positioned in the level. It will not tell you the body double, but it will tell you where the Duke is. So that takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I know which one is which, and I know where one of the two is. So make sure that you come over here, make sure that you get this, because that's going to be very important for us to know how we now need to approach this level, knowing where one of the two is and in what location. So what I'm doing now is I'm proceeding with the thought that the body double is going to be inside the palace. So I know that the Duke is in his chambers, so the body double is not in the throne room because we've already seen that. So the only places left that he could be are in his office, in Delilah's room, or in the private garden. Ideally, I would rather not have to deal with the private garden. Delilah's room or his office are better options. So we're going to go ahead and move into here because I have to do this anyways to get to the Duke's chambers. So that's what you're going to see here is me clearing out this Clockwork soldier. And then we'll move up and determine if the body double is inside the palace or if he's out in the garden.
Damn it, I need to pee.
1,000 rotations. Reintroducing
This was a
graphite.
man from old Lamprey. His cockle was wee as a minnow. He tugged on it nightly, and then, ever so slightly, grew to be large as a narwhal.
It seems the Duke has some of the Jindosh Clockwork soldiers.
So I'm going to put the stun mine here specifically because this location will allow me to take out the Clockwork soldier away from any guards or any civilians that could potentially hear it. There are several other locations on this level you could put it. All of them kind of come with their own complications. Most of them will alert somebody, and for obvious reasons, I do not want that to happen.
We've been playing every day for weeks now. All of this to entertain a statue?
Someone said the Duke believes Empress Delilah can talk to him through the statue.
Well, if he's trying to pull off some witchcraft love trick, he's doing it wrong. And I can't feel my fingertips anymore.
Dancing hagfish on the line. Martha, won't you marry me? 12 weeks have I been
Machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
I always thought yes. Better week's wages. This is the worst assignment.
So I'm going to check this civilian here. If she's standing up like this, I always go ahead and just knock her out. It's just safer to do so. I would say about half the time she'll just be sleeping on the couch. So if she's sleeping on the couch, I leave her alone. If she's not, take her out. All right, so we're gonna peer through these slits into the office to see if the Duke is there. He's not. I can see that the maid's there. If the Duke was in there, the maid would not be. So now I'm gonna peek into here, and what I'm looking for here is either the blue shirt guard or the maid. I can see the blue shirt guard. So unfortunately, this confirms that the body double is going to be at the private garden. So at this point, there's no reason for me to go up to the Duke's chambers. I need to go take care of the body double, have the conversation with him, and then I can go up and deal with the real Duke.
Kiss. Try. Okay. Really go for a whiskey or something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
All right, so earlier I had mentioned that, you know, there's a bunch of different scenarios that can play out. Unfortunately, this is one of the worst ones. It's much better to have the real Duke at the private garden because you can get him to trigger his dialogue in which he ends by killing the hound up here. When it's the body double, that doesn't happen. So now I have to deal with the hound too. This makes this section incredibly difficult. So what you're going to see here is me being very patient and me moving back and forth around this thing to get the right opportunity to do what I need to do. So what I did there was I tried to alert the guards such that they would break out of their default positions and they would move out to look for me. When they move out to look for you, what should happen is that they don't find you. So then instead of going back to their defaults, they go to their secondary defaults, the defaults that are the same as when the Duke says, hey, I need my alone time and sends them away. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So now I have to try to get this to trigger either by them spotting me or by hitting the trigger for the Duke to send them away.
Increasing oil tank temperature.
Sometimes a man just needs time.
All right, so we've got the Duke to trigger that part of the dialogue. So now he's going to send the guards away, which is good. However, now I have to deal with the Hound and the Duke. The tricky part here is that if I kill or sleep the Hound and the Duke sees it before I talk to him, that will count as a body found. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get an idea of exactly where the Hound is, make sure he's in his default spot. So that was what I was standing up, and then I started to get the lightning alert from the Hound. So I'm like, okay, I know exactly where he is now. And so now I'm going to the other side, and what we're going to do is when the Duke moves into a position where he's looking away, then I can take care of the Hound, and then I'll need to quickly get over there and talk to the Duke before he turns around and sees the hound. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I accidentally hit the wrong button here and I sleep the hound instead of killing it. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. But usually I would just kill it.
How many more hours of this?
All right, so the hound is down. Now we can talk to the Duke.
No offer to buy.
And now what'll happen is right after we come out of the cutscene and we talk to him, he will see the hound and he'll kind of freak out. And what I should have done was pick the hound up and walk away with it, because very, very rarely will that trigger the guards to then investigate. So that was a mistake. Make sure that you pick the hound up and you drop over the side like I did with the hound, and then you can just throw the hound on the ground. Or if you want to be super, super safe, you can bring it up into here and throw it on the ground. Regardless though, now that we've got the body double taken care of, we can go ahead and go back into the palace, head up to the Duke's chambers and deal with him. And then we're basically done. We'll hit the safe and then we'll head out and complete the mission.
Dunwall's always been a place of strange luck. Poor brother died there. But that's where I met Delilah. They're constant complaining.
Just by looking at his shoes.
This must be the key to the Duke's vault. see what Duke of Bell keeps hidden away in here. This must be the Duke's vault.
1,000 rotations. Reintroducing graphite. If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
So just as I explained in the 100% run, as soon as we interact with the tree, the Clockwork Soldier will get destroyed. Unfortunately, I can't just like far reach teleport over to it like I could in the Powers run. So I just have to wait until the Clockwork Soldier is not in a position to see me before I interact with it.
This is it. I wonder if it was even really alive.
When this plays, check central rotor. If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil. Increasing oil tank temperature.
There. Now to wait.
So, is that it? The fall of Karnaca?
From now on, the Duke will be guided by better stars.
Back to the dreadful whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
Yes, at long last. To take back the throne and find a way to save my father.
Ready, then?
Let's set out.
All right. As you want. Hey, there you are. I wanted a chance to talk.
Megan is waiting for you on the deck outside.
I made a vow.
Megan. I can't. If old Samuel could see me now.
Alright, so the hardest part in this level is honestly right here at the beginning, and it's the hounds that I have to deal with. So if you've watched the 100% run, you know that I put down a mesmerize to kind of capture them, and then I take them out. And I also explained that the amount of hounds that are here vary from run to run. Sometimes it's 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. Unfortunately, I can't get a good vantage point here like I can in the Powers run where I get up on the rails above them. So what I have to do is basically just sit here on the roof and be patient. So I know that there's always going to be 4 or less and never more than that. So when I see the 4th one back there, I know that I'm now seeing all of the possible hounds there are. So that is what cues me into, hey, you can go ahead and kill them basically from back to front.
Step up and see what I've got. Let's see. I have some upgrade plans for your gear. I'll take that deal. Glad we could do business. You won't regret it. Watch your ass out there.
Eat them of frost, eat them of snow, the monarch decreed to them below. Upon the fight, burn his head.
So for these two hounds, it's the exact same as the 100% run. Basically, the white one is asleep, and the other one is not. So you take out the other one, then take out the white one.
Don't dream of horror yet to come.
That's a shame.
All right, so in this area, it's going to be fairly similar to the 100% run. We're only going to take out one witch, and we're going to take out the hound that's in front of the entrance into the tower. But aside from that, it's going to look very similar to the 100%, where basically I'm just going to be on the outside of the level, moving around it. I do it in a little bit different fashion than in the 100% where I have powers, but ideally it's going to be the same. We're just going to be moving on the outside of the level.
Finger stained blue and blush, conjure rainbows for the brush.
Yes, tell us what you know. I already heard a bit. Our Empress Delilah's eyes burning bright. She's keen for this one. The world. The world as I want it. The world as I dreamed it. Look at you. Lions. You finally mastered the Greyhound magic, didn't you? I did. Right. Those poor dead overseers gave up their precious hounds, and I raised a pack of them. They're down under the bridge. Few in the coven can do that. Delilah will be pleased. That's the hope I keep in my pockets. After the fight with the overseers and the makes it easier to collect. Less messy. You can still smell it. How much of the algae does our Lady Delilah want? And what's it for? Tell me. I won't let the secret slip. She just needs a bit.
All right, so for the interior, not really anything to talk through here. I am going to take out 2 Clockwork soldiers, but other than that, I'm just going to walk to the objective and then head to the throne room.
If Delilah's in the throne room, I can use the elevator to reach her.
Make a note. Remove this playback after the final field test. This indicates the search protocol is underway.
Why is there a tree in the middle of the chapel? By crafting more corrupt runes, I could disrupt Delilah's painting.
Playback for detection registered. Okay, trigger exploration grid.
Alright, so I only have one more enemy that's in my way. You might have noticed I grabbed the stinging bolts right there that we picked up much earlier on in the run. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get as close to this witch as I can. And then once she starts to see me, I'm going to hit her with it and she's going to run off. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the hounds. As I round the corner, any hound that I see, I'm going to hit that one as well. This will buy me enough time to get into this area without them being able to see me or having to deal with them. Because unlike the 100% run, I don't have mesmerized to just hold them in place and walk by them.
You will take me back and die at my hands.
Is this Ramsey? So this is the world she dreams about. If I put Delilah on the throne, the painting should trap her in her own fantasy world. You wanted to rule a world of your own, Delilah.
And with that button pressed, the run is complete. So if you've stuck with me to this point, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the gift of your time and attention. I hope this no damage run was both educational and insightful for you to watch. If you enjoyed this run, please take a moment to like the video. It's the best way for you to support my content and help me get these runs out to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you're interested in similar content, so you never miss a new run being released. If you'd like to interact with me or the community, be sure to join the Discord. The link for that and all of my socials are in the description section below. I have to let this play out until the credits roll, but thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.
And her subjects would love her forever, as she sailed the ocean with a great fleet and trekked across the Pendician wastes. While in the true capital, Emily the Just, Emily the Clever, ruled for decades over a prosperous, mended empire with Corvo Atano by her side. In his day, Anton Sokolov fired the engines of industry, hurtling the empire into a more sophisticated age. He dallied with nobles, wayward artists, and great inventors alike, drinking in all that life could offer. Leaving Dunwall for the last time, he headed to the cold north, contented at last, on a final voyage to take him home. There are things that never change, no matter how hard you try. Questions you must answer. As Megan Foster faded from the world, Billy Lurk stepped from her shadow, setting out to discover her truest self, and seeking the closest thing she'd ever known to family.